Hey there YouTube, what is up? What is up? Yeah, again me with another tutorial with Blender actually. Blender is 2D, 3D modeling and animating software which is free and extremely simple. So in this video we are going to design a modern looking bedroom and learn the tips and tricks and how to do it, and it's very simple. So with the Shift A command, we create a plane and scale it up to our needs, and changing to the edit mode and selecting the edges and extruding them to 5 meters, 5.5 meters. And we are going to actually duplicate the bottom plane in order to make the roof, and extruding the roof to down a bit, which is going to be our roof, and we are going to change the view to the matte cap and choosing the random color. Also, don't forget to enable cavity and shadows in this section. So I just separate this video to two parts. First 11 minutes is going to be our scene design in very simple mode and without any rendering mode, and the next 25 minutes we are going to give the textures and environment and also make it look like real life. So as you can see, I just added the bed to our scene. It's a pre-made bed from CG Trader, I believe, which I will leave the all links down below, and you can easily and freely download it from that website called, again, CG Trader. So I'm here. I am creating a very simple cube in order to make a wall behind our bed, which I am going to actually add some textures to it. And as you can see, I'm just scaling it, and by hitting the S button on my keyboard and replacing it to where it is actually fits to my scene. And it's pretty much it. It's very basic and simple. So here I am just trying to find a suitable place for our windows by hitting the Control R button on my keyboard. I'm creating edges in the edit mode, and as you can see, I am adding two windows. That's why I'm just trying to figure out the good place for my window. So actually, by creating two more edges and hitting the extrude button and deleting the faces, I can have my windows pretty much simply. So here I am actually adding another window in the other wall. As you can see, it's pretty much simple and nothing special is going on here. Very simple techniques. So I am just going to add another 3D model to my scene in order to make it pretty much looking like a real life room. So I'm just scaling it and resizing it and moving it to the place that fits to my scene. It's pretty much simple. This is also pre-made 3D model from CG Trader. Again, I'm just leaving the links down below. Check the description, please, and you can freely download these models, I believe. So yeah. So here I am duplicating the wall behind the bed and replacing it and scaling it up in order to block the extra light coming inside to my room, and adding another window here by extruding the plane and deleting the face. It's pretty much simple and easy to do. So yeah, I'm just trying to add curtains to my windows. Curtains are also pre-made from the website that I mentioned, and You can use a 3D models from that there, and you can scale it up, scale it down, or whatever you like to do with that 3D model in your scene. As you can see, I am here just scaling it up to my needs and placing into the correct place in front of my windows. Actually, be careful of placing your curtains because it's gonna block your extra lights that coming from your windows. As you can see, this is the base movement commands and nothing special. My goal is to make tutorials as easy as possible for you to design with me, maybe redesigning it and adding some extra features or design your own. But I'm just telling you, just it's pretty much simple. It's not a nightmare to learn Blender. So here I am adding another curtain and blocking the third window. So yeah, that's it. And as you can see, I'm just curious about the placing curtains and replacing them. As you can see, I need to rotate it because the angle of my curtain is not good enough. And moving them is by hitting S for scale, hitting R button on your keyboard for rotation, and after pressing the R button, you can press the X, Y, Z axis to move in those axes, rotate in those axes actually. So I am here just adding a nightstand near to my bed, and it's something necessary, right? Any kind of bed needs a nightstand. And as you can see, I'm just carefully placing it. This is also a pre-made model, and I'm just scaling the behind, bowl, the behind of my bed, and adding very simple nightstand makes it very beautiful. So I'm here just adding another chandelier or whatever you call it. I don't know actually what it's called in English. It's kind of chandelier or whatever you call it, and I'm just trying to scale it, and it's a pre-made model and it's gonna give us a good look near our bed. So as you can see, it's pretty much moving commands and scaling commands um, in order to find the correct place, or correct place from my point of view, to my scene. So if you made this far, please hit the subscribe button because I have tutorials every week almost coming, or every 3 to 4 days, and turn on the notification bell and support me, follow me please, because I'm just curious to see you are repeating the tutorials with me, and kind of tutorials are useful. So here I am deleting the smaller chandelier in order to placing the bigger one. Oh, I just mistakenly moved the plane also. So I'm just trying to move the chandelier to the correct place. And yeah, looks pretty much great. So as you can see, by mistake, I just deleted the wall behind the scene. Actually, I am again duplicating the wall by hitting the Shift D command and scaling it and blocking the extra light coming inside of my room. So don't forget to save your actually design, because sometimes Blender crashes and you're gonna regret why didn't you save it. So our scene was pretty much it, and here I am just looking around in order to find any mistakes and wrong movements and stuff. So I'm just adding an environment here by clicking the environment and going to shader editor and giving it a environment shader and choosing our HDR. So now we are going to change the view to render mode in order to have a look at our environment HDR. Also, I will leave the link of the HDR down below. Don't worry about it. And yeah, here I am just adding some ambient occlusion and changing the distances and adding screen space reflections. It's going to give us a very beautiful looking shadows and stuff. And so from the light probe we are adding radiance volume and scaling it down to exact our room size with the S button and Z button, as you can see on my keyboard. And here we are going to bake indirect lighting to interact the indirect lighting with our scene. And as you can see, it just turned to much more realistic light, which is coming from the outside to our room. Yeah, and by changing it to edit mode and selecting the floor planes and creating a material and creating another material, you can assign these two materials to walls and floor, and you can then add wooden floor and also paint to your walls. So by choosing the floor material and going to shader editor and adding, this is very simple, it's just image texture from textures.com, I believe. I just will leave the links down below. It's free and you can add pretty much simply wooden floor and choosing the color and roughness, also displacement, as you can see, and finally a normal. You can connect these commands to our shader editor, actually principal shader, and you can have a very beautiful wooden floor look to your scene. Here I am adding the normal, and as you can see there's some problem with wooden floor and I am trying to solve it. So by choosing the wooden floor in the UA editor, UV editor, you can scale it and rotating it to your needs. And as you can see, by decreasing the bump strength to 0.01 and distance, you can have a very beautiful looking wooden floor, which is pretty much modern looking and shiny. So here I am adding the wall paint. It also is a texture from textures.com, I believe. I will leave the links down below. So adding the color, it's pretty much the same technique, roughness and displacement and normal. It's pretty much the same technique and very easy technique to make image texture to have much more realistic view. So as you can see, we need to scale it up to our need to have much more realistic view. Here I am trying to scale it up and to the object view and decreasing the strength and distance of bump. We can have a much beautiful and increasing the metallic view to the 1. It's gonna help you to have that reflection on your walls. So as you can see, I'm just trying to find if there is anything wrong, which I couldn't actually. So yeah, here I am just trying to add some area lamps to inside of my room, which is going to give us a very modern look, and also it's gonna help the light to have a good distribution and light up our rooms with actually pretty much very simple command from the Shift A and adding light area lamp. And here I am trying to make it a bit warmer and increasing the power to my needs. As you can see, 500 is not enough, and I'm choosing the 800 watts. So I'm just duplicating the light and moving it to the other side of my room. I actually, in this design, I decided to have 3 aerial lamps, but you can use as much as you like. But believe me, just 3 of them is more than enough. Lights are strange in Blender. If you use them too much, they're gonna destroy your design. So I'm just trying to add the 3rd aerial lamp. As you can see, I'm just finding the correct place, and pretty much simple techniques of movement. It's gonna take a bit of time, but if you spend more time, you're gonna have much more realistic lighting in your bedroom. So again, don't forget to save your design. So here I am adding image texture to the wall behind my bed. I chose to use marble texture, which is actually giving our scene pretty much beautiful looking wall. So with the simple techniques of placing the image and roughness and displacement and normal, again the same technique, We are using here nothing special, nothing strange in here. It's just repeating one technique. And as you can see, our marble wall is ready, but we need to decrease the strength of our normal and also the distance. And here's the shiny marble looking wall, which is very pretty. And I am trying to add image texture from shader editor to my nightstand, just giving it of wood looking image texture and adding just roughness and image, and also decreasing the metallic in the principled shader, and a bit of less specular. It's gonna help us. And finally, the only wall behind our scene, we need to add the same image texture of the other walls, and it's actually repeating the process of wall texture and having the same look behind our scene. So guys, adding textures to any kind of object in Blender is mostly like this, and you don't need to learn any special technique to do it. It's gonna work for you, and it's pretty much beginner and good enough to make your scene look nice. And here's the magic part of our chandeliers. We are going to add image textures and emission in order to let the lights go through the you know lighting part of our chandeliers. So here I am adding emission texture, as you can see, and connecting it to emission, and I am going to give this part pretty much gold looking metal, and by decreasing the roughness I am gonna give it a bit more shine. And again, cloth part of our chandelier and design, I'm just adding image textures. So here I am adding glass looking for this part or chandelier by adding glass texture, glass shader, I'm sorry, and connecting directly to our surface and deleting the principled shader here, and it's gonna shine under our light. So finally it's ready. I'm trying to add lights, pretty much simple point lamp, and placing it inside of our chandeliers I'm just increasing the power of our light and a bit warm light, giving it a bit warm color. Actually, sorry, my bad. So as you can see, our emission is not good enough. So here I am trying to find good amount of emission to let the light go through our shining parts. So that's it, and here I am trying to duplicate the light and moving it inside the correct places of our chandeliers. So we needed 4 of them. As you can see, it gave us pretty much awesome warm lighting effect, and I'm so satisfied with this lighting here, and I'm just changing a bit of color in our lights. Finally, we need a sun directly pointing into our room to have the correct lighting. I'm just adding the sun here and giving a bit warm color and playing around the strength of our sun to find the correct strength of it. So as you can see, I'm just increasing it to 50. So here I am adding a mix shader and translucent shader to my curtain in order to let the sunlight go through of it. It's pretty much simple and basic technique. And here I am trying to bake indirect lighting again, because I'm thinking there's something wrong with lighting in here, and as you can see, it's gonna take a time, and finally it's so much better. As you can see, reflections, shadows, and lighting is much more realistic now. I am adding image textures to our pre-made model here and making it look realistic. Also into the pillows I'm adding textures, and also roughness. So again, to the smaller pillows I am adding textures. Also, as you can see, it's a bit not smooth as it's possible. Here I am pressing the control 2 button in order to make it pretty much smooth. Which you're gonna see in a second. Yeah, pretty much smooth. Like that. Results are awesome. Also, you can hit the F3 button and search for the smooth shader and giving it that command. It's gonna also work for you. But this is a shortcut, Control 2 or control numpad 2. Yeah, pretty much awesome results. So in this section we are going to add texture to our curtains. As you can see, I'm just only adding image texture and increasing the metallic. It's gonna give us much more realistic view and decreases the shining, which is not necessary to our curtains. Again, don't forget to hit the save button. So here I am creating a very simple carpet to our scene, carpet or whatever you call it, by creating a plane and placing it carefully underneath our bed and also nightstand. I'm just trying to scale it to the correct size and moving it to the correct place. So we are going to create a particle system and hair and changing it to the edit mode. You can see we have our hairs, and I'm gonna give 20,000 to the number and decrease the hair length. Here I am giving it browning in the physics and also giving it choosing the simple in the children and giving decreasing the radius. Here I am make it a bit calm in the particle edit. It's pretty much simple because there's no carpet that its hairs stays straight. I'm trying to reach the realistic design. So as you can see, we have our carpets in here. I'm sorry, I mean one carpet, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So here I am deleting curtains, extra parts to let the sunshine actually inside to my room, moving it to the correct place. And actually I am creating aerial lamps behind my walls and having much more realistic lighting. So guys, as you can see, I'm just correcting some mistakes and giving some materials here. Nothing special, pretty much simple stuff in here. So as you can see, it was pretty much it. You can create for yourself. It's a pretty much awesome looking modern bedroom. So, guys, if you made it this far, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like button, and turn on the notification bell because I have new tutorials coming almost every single week, even sooner, who knows. Stay tuned.